Welcome to the workshop, my name is Gert, and do you guys remember Crafter Dome? Yeah, that was fun, and only 2 weeks ago. I made a couple of cards for that collab, but instead of just putting them in my cupboard, I want to play some race games. So I made a post-apocalyptic race board. Couple of things I want for this game board. It had to be in a strong case, that's why I went for a flight case. I want to throw this into my car, go play a game, get back here. Number 2, now this flight case is already pretty heavy, so I can't add more weight to it. I'm going to use materials as light as possible. Number 3, it's going to be non-modular terrain. All the terrain features are going to be fixed. This means I really have to consider placement. We are not making a diorama. Playability is very important. I want a road. Yes, I've seen all the Mad Max films. You can't have post-apocalyptic without a road. And I also want a gas station. Enter the Lazy Forger, one of my hobby heroes, the creator of a whole line of beautiful 6 to 15mm scale terrain. My eye fell on the Shantytown's gas station. This is going to fit lovely on my road. I enlarged the STL file to 150% in the slicer. Probably messed up my supports. Bit of warping here and there, no worries. A bit of cosplay foam to cover up the mistakes. And I also printed a bunch of extra terrain features and a couple of car wrecks. I need a strong yet flexible material, and I had a bunch of offcuts laying around from previous projects. So I used EVA foam. Superglue is my adhesive of choice. After elevating the road, I need some concrete platforms, a place for the gas station and the other terrain features. This is very easy to do with the EVA foam, this stuff is flexible. With the platforms done, it's time to build a framework around the platforms that is going to hold the soil, the groundwork. Okay, this looks like crap. Let's get rid of all the gaps with some cosplay clay. Time for some textures. First up is an acrylic medium mixed with some aquarium sand. Apply this all over the board, or especially on the dried up EVA foam. Second texture is a layer of thin down PVA glue and the same aquarium sand. With these textures done and a good amount of drying time, it's time for painting. I'm going for a simple paint scheme, simple paint job. It's a Shell gas station, so yellow, white, red, browns for the soil, grays for the concrete. But we are going to start off with a black primer over the entire board and grey primer over the sides and the concrete parts. Airbrush the sides with a pale blue to simulate the sky, and I build up the ground with burnt umber and sandy brown. A layer of Lux APS Desert Sand for more rocks and texture. Mix this up with a variety of fine turf in various colors by Woodland Scenics. These were then fixed down with Scenics glue, that is a mixture of 3 parts water to 1 part PVA and a splash of isopropanol to break up surface tension. And that's where it went wrong. After spraying one board, I had to make a new batch of the Scenic glue, and I think I added too much isopropanol. I'm not sure. Anyway, it looked like this. Is that a yeast infection? I don't really know what caused it, it's just my assumption. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I fixed the problem by restarting the paint job, a mix of burnt umber and a bit of black all over the damaged parts. And we are back on the road. For the road weathering I used acrylic pencils by AK Interactive. Those are very fun to work with. You sharpen them, wet the tip. These are great for skid marks, weathering, etc. A big thank you to my patrons. It's thanks to you guys that I get to buy fun stuff like this, experiment. There's a link below if you want to support. The road markings are carefully applied painter's tape, a bit of white paint stippled on, a bit of more weathering with the pencils. I really liked the rubber and smoke for this project. Time to paint the gas station. Very simple paint technique. Step 1 is painting in all the different base colors. Step 2, wash and highlight. Step 3, wash and weathering. Mainly by reapplying a bit of wash. Nothing too fancy, but it's quick and easy. I apply the same colors and technique to all the other terrain pieces. Time to make some trees. Chopped up some tree armatures by Woodland Scenics. Coat of grey primer. Melted in a metal pin for ease of placing the trees in the AVA foam. Green clump foliage for the canopy. And a layer of brown wash for the trunks. I'm gonna be adding a whole bunch of greens to the board. I have a collection of foliage. This is a type of mesh with some foam flocking attached to it. Easy to glue in. I used super glue. Careful you don't glue your fingers together or to the board. I like to work in a small zone at a time and build up the area with the different foliages and trees. To blend in the colors, I apply a couple of green paints all around the foliage. A dark olive and camo green for some variation. Last bits of detailing, traffic signs. Small printed out traffic signs from the internet glued to thin styrene. A metal pin, grey primer, brown wash. And Bob's your auntie. There is a place and a time for everything and everyone here on Darkmatterworkshop. In fact, now it's time for the bad motherfucker. It's also time to hit that like and subscribe button. The BMF is my flocking machine. I want some tall grass here and there, so I thin down some PVA glue. Apply the static grass. Finally a good vacuum to get rid of the extra grass, and this is the result. Just one little extra detail that I have to do to finish it off. Now before I get to play a game on this board, I have to make a couple of game aids. But that's for another video. See you soon. Bye.